Gaming on the go is fun, but sometimes touchscreens can get tiring. Perhaps it's too fiddly to get accurate controls, or you find your digits are covering the best parts of what's happening on screen. Luckily, many titles on iOS now offer third-party controller support, and we've collected 7 of our favorites for you to get your hands on. In pole position for one of the most popular racing games on mobile devices is Asphalt 9 Legends, and with its stunning graphics and almost endless upgrading opportunities, it's deserving of its moniker. As you travel across expertly rendered locales from around the world, you'll be behind the wheel of classic cars and powerhouses of vehicular transportation, all in the attempts to gain record times and that all-important first-place accolade. With a dazzling array of nitro blasting and twists and turns, you'll be forgiven for not wanting your hand to be covering the screen, and using an external controller frees you up to appreciate it in its entirety. And with differing controller options to allow for even more gameplay styles, you can tailor the experience to fit how you choose. Driving gloves are optional. A title that needs no introduction. So popular is it that it's practically synonymous with the genre that it lives in, and being the most successful first-person shooter franchise and 4th most successful gaming franchise ever, it makes sense for an iteration of Call of Duty to make its way to mobile. 4 years since its release, it's as popular as ever, and native controller support brings the fast-action gameplay seamlessly over to an iOS device, to the point it's almost indistinguishable from a console entry. Some players may be divided on whether to use touchscreen or a third-party controller, but for those who grew up on playing the main series titles, that muscle memory will serve you well on this free-to-play AAA game, and activating that vibration setting ramps up the experience for greater immersion. Classic platforming with difficulty turned up to 11 has spawned its own subgenre affectionately referred to as Metroidvania, and Motion Twins roguelike Dead Cells has been a knockout entry in recent years, carving out its own place within the annals of gaming fame. Making your way through a castle, trying to uncover the truth, and collecting the randomized weapons strewn across the course in order to try and be the best that you can be, each playthrough offers a unique experience, no matter how many times you get resurrected. The mobile port was rebuilt to accommodate for many different controller styles, and the touchscreen buttons are customizable to be tailored to what works best for you. However, when precision and quick reflexes are needed to avoid enemy onslaughts, or to clear a particularly tricky jump, reliance on good old-fashioned physical button pressing is like a warm security blanket, and so an external controller is the much preferred way of playing. Fighting games and button mashing go together like butter on toast, or an ice pack on a black eye, and so free-to-play Brawlhalla, though wonderfully enjoyable with touchscreen controls, really shines when bringing the smackdown with a controller in hand. Being able to choose from scores of characters, each with a unique backstory and moves, and an ever-increasing roster, including crossovers from other popular series, gives you the unlimited potential of play, as you find the perfect skill set to match your personal playstyle. Though the control inputs may not be as in-depth as other titles such as Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, external controllers still give you freedom to deal damage and pull off quick dodges, all whilst trying to reign supreme amongst gods and mortals alike. On the surface, a farming simulator. But much like digging in a seeded pasture, Stardew Valley contains a veritable cornucopia of delicious treats. Tasked with taking over your grandfather's abandoned farmstead, you'll be planting and harvesting crops, catching fish, gathering resources, and building deep friendships with the surrounding townsfolk. As you learn of everyone's personalities and individual tastes, you'll be brought into the fold of the action and begin to learn the hidden stories that have laid secret for many years. This smash hit is available across virtually all platforms, and on mobile, it is satisfying to use the touchscreen controls to scythe through your own wheat, but for greater precision and the enjoyment of tactility whilst tilling, an external controller is the best way to go. Transcending the standards of the platformer genre is that game company's Sky Children of Light. As close to a sequel as we'll get to their atmosphere-drenched critical hit Journey, this open-world co-op experience is a wistful, wonderful wander through cloudscapes and dreamscapes alike. From soaring over clouds to delving into the stories of the ghosts that pepper the land, every inch of this title has something to captivate the imagination and transport you to a different world. You can join with other players and explore the surrounding cloud-topped hills and sweeping plains together, or work through puzzles as one, communicating through gentle gestures and displays of emotion. With the beauty of what's happening on screen, turning the input to an external controller allows for a much smoother experience and lets you enjoy the full picture and splendor of the action in its entirety. Fans of Horned Helmets will be in for a treat with this one, as Odmar tells the tale of a Viking on a journey to prove himself. Every part of this game has been preened, polished, and perfected for a glorious visual offering, from the cutscenes and animations to the absorbing backdrops and towering bosses. At heart, an action platformer. There's plenty of wall jumping, spike dodging, and chasm clearing to keep you entertained, and mastering all these moves with a controller in hand makes for a much heartier experience. Though you may think it's just another entry in a long line of games within this genre, when you begin to comb through the dialogue and take in all the secrets strewn across the levels, you'll realize that Odmar contains multitudes, and you'll enjoy every moment of exploring it. And that was our pick of some of the top games available on iPad and iPhone to be played with an external controller. Do you agree with the choices? Do you prefer playing with a controller or with the touchscreen? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.